One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics. Past or present, we'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane.
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast.
The voice of your covered walkway streets.
So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the Fieldhouse,
We'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
so saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Welcome to another great episode. Well, I don't know if it's great yet, but I got a good feeling this one's going to be pretty hot. So, G.
It's gonna be fire, man.
Yeah.
Emoji, fire.
Emoji. G, who do we have this week? I'm so excited. We've been trying to get this man on for seasons now.
For years, man. Ever since we came up with the concept, I think we reached out at like 2 a.m. at some point, I'm sure during COVID, and he agreed to it. He agreed to it about 2 or 3 years ago, probably. But man, nonetheless, man, the one and only point guard at UTPA, man. One, if not arguably, one of the best point guards to ever play at UTPA.
Hands down,
arguably.
For sure. Arguably.
Arguably.
For sure.
Somebody might, but
He might catch a cramp, but he's definitely arguably.
but he's got, yeah, but you better catch his pass because it's coming, man.
It's
Mr.
coming,
Kevin Mitchell
man.
in the house.
Kevin Mitchell, what's up, Kev? How you doing?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man? I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's been a long time coming.
Oh man, we've been excited for this episode. Like G said, we've been trying to get you on for a while now, and schedules and everything, and then you make the big move to Kansas Missouri border, like it was just like we didn't want to bother you while you were making that transition, and so
we can't believe you left Texas, man. I mean, we can't have everybody leaving Texas. Matty P already left Texas.
Not only leaving Texas, but I mean the Valley, man. The Valley, that's a warm place in my heart. Spent over 20 years there, and so from the Valley to Kansas, and one extreme to another. That's just how we do it over here.
How's the Mexican food? I'm just curious. How's the Mexican food?
Man. It's not good. No bueno. Like I
No
miss
bueno,
that. That's what I miss the most. Really, is the lack of Mexican food that we have here. So we've had to adjust.
Oh man.
Dude, just send us your address. We'll send you a care package.
Please.
Some Delia's tamales, some Stripes tacos. We'll put it all together, man, for you.
We'll take it all. We'll take it all.
Now, your fiance, does she have family still in the Valley? Do y'all go back? Like, how often do y'all go back down to the Valley?
So we haven't been back yet. So we moved last July. The family moved last July. I was kind of flying back and forth from April to July. So her family's really in Fremont, then they're spread out a little bit towards Corpus and San Antonio.
Okay.
But they've come to visit us multiple times. We've yet to make it back. We'll probably be back sometime in March or April to kind of check on some things there in the Valley. Get back.
Yeah, if you want to come down March 22nd through the 24th, that's when G and I are going to be down there live doing episodes. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just let us know, man. We'll.
That'd be fun, man.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. So. Obviously, arguably one of the best point guards for the university. How did you get to Edinburg? Let's kind of briefly go over like where you grew up, and then how did you get to Edinburg and that sort of thing.
Well, first and foremost, man, I appreciate the praise and introduction. I don't know, like we've had a lot of great point guards and players come through there, so. Appreciate it. A little flattery.
But you did hit your free throws when you needed to. That's not a dig on Lalo.
Man. Shout out to Lalo.
Shout out to Lalo.
El Pato. Well, no. So I grew up in Copperas Cove, Texas. So I was born into a military family. So kind of raised in that Fort Hood, Central Texas area. Both parents were military. Mom was kind of more tailored towards the drill sergeant area, and the father was airborne infantry. So discipline was really, really big in our household. After that, played there, high school ball, went to McLennan Community College for 2 years. So played 2 years there at MCC.
Waco, Texas, baby.
That's not too far from where you grew up, right? It's kind of
no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's actually that wasn't the plan. I mean, you know how they say it. How's the saying go? You plan and God laughs.
Yeah.
I was actually, slated to go to Rider University at a high school, which was up in the Northeast. And some people don't know this. My mother recently just passed, RIP. She had multiple sclerosis, and so I was kind of a caregiver from age 13, 14 on. So I was me being kind of a sneaky kid. Ryder wanted me to come on a recruiting visit, and I decided to skip my prom and not tell them that I was going to a recruiting visit at Florida International at the time. And so unbeknownst to them, that was where I was headed. I had to go to Miami. So at that time, they had Carlos Arroyo, Rajah Bell was just there. Like they had a really good squad. And so while I was there, Ryder called, and my mother, who was taking tons of medications and was kind of half asleep, told them that I was actually at the University of Miami at a recruiting visit, which I wasn't at the University of Miami. So long story short, they gave my scholarship away. They tried to get me into prep schools late in the season, and the kid that was a little big-headed and said I never needed to go to JUCO was actually in JUCO.
What a blessing in disguise, though.
It was.
Because it landed you in the path that leads you here on Saddle Up.
Absolutely. No, it was
and everything in between, of course. Everything in between, right? But this is the most important.
The big picture, right? But
I
get what you're trying to say.
Matty P, this is the big picture. This is it. You make it on this show, you've done something in life. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So K-Dog, you played in McLennan, region, that's region 6? What region is that in JUCO?
So,
man.
I don't remember region, but I mean we
but
were
with Collin
County,
Temple,
Weatherford,
with
Temple.
Weatherford, Temple. How about how about those games against Temple though? Because I know Kirby was a coach there, and I think they were averaging like 100. He was Golden State before Golden. He was like the run and gun before all of that. The Grinnell College. Kirby started all of that in JUCO. I mean, what do you recall? The JUCO days in that conference.
That was our rivalry. I mean, that was the legit rivalry.
Well, it was right.
Right down I-35. We're close to each other. And at that time, also they had Joey Tate. My first year there. So
yes,
Joey
sir.
There. Yeah.
Shout out to Joey. That's right.
Absolutely. And so those were some wars. And I want to say we split both years maybe. But no, and those that we were known for our defense and they were known for their offense.
Offense.
That was definitely a clash of the Titans, man, and one that I won't either.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, Matt, but so you all, Joey and you ended up playing together.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy because not only did we end up, playing Joey that was there, they also had it that year, Southwest Christian was in the league. And that was when Marie was Southwest Christian. So Marie was Southwest Christian that year.
Wow.
Joey was at Temple. And we all, we first kind of met each other and not knowing each other what was going to happen.
Teammates.
JUCO squad, the JUCO Dream team ended up at UT Pan American, man.
Wow.
On the same team. That's amazing.
And Joey ended up being your roommate? Is that what you said in college?
Actually, both of them were. Joey was and Marie. We were all actually roommates. So it was me, Joey, and first it was me, Joey, Marie, and then Wasinda. And then we also had Bird that kind of flipped in and out, DeFrance Gurley.
Yeah.
Okay. Kev, we interviewed Coach Figger, and Coach Figger is the UTRGV men's basketball coach. He's also a former JUCO guy, coached at Odessa College.
Oh, really?
And some of the stories that he had, man, from those JUCO days, unbelievable, right? Unreal stories. I mean, I think JUCO guys, coaches can write books, and put them out there. That's how much content we have. And I know I want to get to the UTPA days, but I think like those JUCO days kind of develops you in a way that it kind of prepares you for that 4 year, for that university. So like, kind of talk about what JUCO did for you, man. I know that, the three people you met, probably obviously lifelong, lifetime friends now and played together, but how did that develop, man? How did that help you develop into a person and a player that you are now?
Absolutely. No, it was a great question
Yeah.
because it had a lot to do with it. A lot of people, they talk about like, how was your experience in Division I basketball? And I told them like Division I basketball, almost when you talk about the athleticism, we had day in and day out more athleticism and just dogs that we faced in JUCO than we did in Division I. Now, granted, it's a different game, but if you like every practice, every game, if you weren't ready to come out there and represent, you would be exposed. And I think that really, truly, the dog eat dog world there of just the athletes that, maybe didn't have the right attitudes or, weren't the nice guys. Like it prepared you for anything that you were going to face on that next level from an athletic standpoint. So I think to when you get to that level of what we learned from playing with Bob of how each practice is important, that is something when I look at the people that I played against, that probably should have gone places if they didn't get in trouble. Like practice in itself was, it was tough every day. Like if you weren't ready to practice, you were going to be exposed. And that level of play, I think, truly prepared us for what we came into our junior and senior year there at UTPA.
Wow,
awesome.
man.
And just a precursor, like G has been telling me, hey, we should start another podcast under the umbrella and just do JUCO stories. So I think this is
Players
the way
and
for
coaches.
G to try and launch this podcast, this secondary podcast about JUCO days, right? And so I see you being sneaky, G. I see you.
I think, well, I'm trying. It's going to end up me asking Kev to be my co-host for the JUCO JUCO Jamboree.
JUCO Jamboree.
JUCO Jam.
I think
JUCO
it would.
Jam,
I think
baby.
it would fly. I think it would do well. I really do. There's tons of stories that are out there that that can be explored and talked about.
Pretty cool. But we can do it here. We can. Do it here.
So no, we're not gonna waste Kev's episode on JUCO days, right?
No, absolutely
let's. So you get to PanAm under Hoffman, right? And you got now the Dream Team JUCO Day or the JUCO Dream Team, right? And it's you, Myrie, and Joey. Y'all end up all on campus together. How was that? Like, what was that first day like? Damn, like you played at Temple or you played at Southwest Christian. Like, how did that day go for you? Do you remember it?
I'll tell you, Joey was probably part of the reason why I came, like during my recruiting visit. There's something about Tate, man, when you talk about just his leadership, his innate ability to lead and bring people in that really made you feel comfortable coming into a situation here on my recruiting visit. And so coming in, it was pretty easy when it came to Joey. I think when you talk about the rest of the team, though, we had a team full of guys that were, you would say, kind of written off, overlooked, or at least we felt we had that, chip on our shoulder. Like everyone was there first semester of the summer early to work out and do certain things. And I think, for me, Joey and Wasinda Curtis, like those were two guys that really kind of helped bring me in. And so when it came to other people, though, like when you're coming from JUCO, it's like, hey, I'm about to come in here. This is my team. I'm about to lead the team scoring, like this, and that. And then I met Myrie Chapman, and for whatever the reason, like that summer, like the games that we all had against each other, those are probably the most epic, most challenging like games that I've ever been a part of. We talk about competitive. And I want to say there's even a moment where we really didn't even talk to each other. We were roommates for a while. And then, I got to see, a spade, what call a spade a spade. You look in the mirror and you're like, hey man, I gotta let this guy just run. Like he's just got the, obviously his resume speaks for himself.
Yeah.
But the ability for him to score and do the things that he did, man, it was like, you know what? I'm the perfect Batman. I mean, perfect Robin to his Batman, like for our team. Yeah. And I think everyone being able to kind of find our own place within the team and where we can provide
your
value.
role. Yeah.
And the selflessness really is something that built, I think, the team that we had that junior year.
Now, was Beamer on that? Beamer had left, right? Beamer was gone the year before you got there. So Myrie was there. He played with Beamer, and then you come in. It's Myrie's senior year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You played with
by the way, real quick, Beamer is Brian Merriweather. If you're out there, you see the show, contact us, man. We're trying to find you.
Yeah, we're trying to find
back
you.
to
So
K-Ball.
if anybody if anybody shares a location with Beamer on their iPhone, then please let us know where he's at, because we'd love to.
All right. Back to our regular scheduled program with Kev Mitchell.
So you played with Wasinda. Now, Wasinda was my point guard my senior year, right? And so great dude. We'd love to have him on the show too. Now y'all have a great run. I think it's your junior year, Myrie's senior year, right? Y'all win the Puerto Rico shootout, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then y'all end up like winning. What was the record that year? It was over 20 games, right?
I think we're 21-9, if I'm not mistaken. When it came to that year. Yeah.
But y'all are independent, so couldn't do anything.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity to be able to play postseason wise. But I think also some of that was our fault as well. We didn't close the year as strong as we could have. Considering I think we were like on a 14-game winning streak, and games that we should have closed out and won, we didn't, and I think that came back to bite us a little bit also.
Yeah. And then so after you graduate, then what's the plan? Like, what do you do afterwards? Like, give the audience a little taste of what you did post-collegiate career.
Man, it's been a long time, man.
We're gonna jog.
We're gonna jog. It's been 20 years, Kev.
Jog the memory a little bit.
Miles off, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 5 years ago, though. It just feels like it was just yesterday that you were playing.
I remember, and this is a story I want to bring up here in a little bit, but I remember playing in men's leagues tournaments with you guys, and like summer tournaments, like, and then we would play in the men's league, during the week, because you were still living down there. And so just the battles, and that's where that joke came from about the cramp, right? Because I remember vividly we played like back to back games in a men's league tournament. Hydration was not the focus.
It wasn't priority.
It wasn't priority back then, right? And Kev, our point guard, is like on the bench on the floor, like just cramping, full body cramp. And we've never let him forget that to that day. But that was something special, man. We had some battles, man.
Absolutely. We played till you couldn't play anymore. I mean, truly. I mean, that was probably the most I've ever been physically, like a full body cramp. You can't stretch anything. It's got to lay there. But no, man, we had a lot of wars, as you say, but a lot of brotherhood also, and opportunities to really just get to know each other, learn and grow and share different experiences, man. When you talk about a lot of the older guys, I consider y'all the older guys that kind of took us under the wing when we got there. And we continued that. And so, like, when I graduated, to go to your original question, when I graduated there at PanAm, that was the same draft year. I think that was LeBron's draft year, D Wade, like one of the best draft class of all time. So let's just say I did not get drafted in either round. And so for me, it was, I had an opportunity. I played in Mexico for a little while. So I played, a little stint down the LNBP. And then honestly, man, like, I got an opportunity, and this is where kind of being a student athlete and really truly focusing on the academic side as well. That time in the Rio Grande Valley is the fastest growing place in the United States.
Yep.
The economy was booming. There was so much going on. The cost of living was extremely low. And a lot of my networking from the business side was there. And so I got an opportunity to kind of get into pharmaceutical sales, which was something I never really thought I would do, much less sales. That was something that I didn't see myself, but getting into it and really understanding a lot of the things that made us successful when it came to basketball or any of the things that we did. Discipline,
self-starter.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That really rolled, kind of went hand in hand with that profession. And So I did that for like 5 years, and then had the itch to go back and play. And then I got an opportunity to go play in the KBO, which is the Korean Basketball League.
Wow.
And so we were a part of the first half Korean draft that they had there with myself. I don't know if y'all remember Tony Akins. He played at Georgia Tech. A couple of other guys. So about 5 of us got drafted. It was kind of like the first guys available or allowed to play in their league, because they didn't allow half Koreans to play before due to kind of how they discriminated before.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, so let me kind of back it up, because during this time where you're like farmer rep, and then right before you go to the KBL, you actually went to go play in Peru.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I want you to kind of expand on that experience when you went down there. How many guys went with you? Who went with you? And how was that experience for you when you went down to Peru?
Man, that could be a whole episode in itself. So Peru, I would say, how many people did we have? Was it 5?
5 of us.
Yes, 5 of us went down there, and part of like just kind of, it was like part missionary kind of a trip, but yet also the opportunity to play against the national team, if I'm not mistaken, down there, the different national teams in Colombia.
Brazil, Argentina, like,
Colombia, right. So
Colombia, yeah.
So a team full of 5 of us. Let's say Matt, Lalo, Joey, who else was with us? Brian. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was us. And then we had the host. We had our 6th man. Mario, that probably has no resume whatsoever when it comes to.
He was 5'6".
Hey, you needed a reserve, man. You needed that 6th man.
Yeah, he was the player coach.
No, we needed the guy though. I mean, but when you look at it, it was us against the national teams. It's just 5
the national teams. Yeah.
And ended up winning that tournament, playing, in front of, the people there. I think the amazing thing about that trip, not only the basketball side of it, and the ability of us to be able to just kind of come together truly undermanned, and us kind of not necessarily in our prime at the time, but still like just showing up and showing out, was just the trip overall and the impact that it made on my life. Coming out of college and going to Iquitos, where we were in Peru, and this is, the poorest city and area in the country.
Yeah, it's the largest city in the world not accessible by road.
And to get out there and be welcomed by people that, at that time I'm young and I'm like, I want all the riches in life and I'm going to ball out. I want to do this. To go to people that didn't have what we would consider the finer things in life, they had everything and welcomed us in with open arms, and you know what I mean? Like they made wine, and it opened our eyes up to like a group of kids that we even kind of like took in under our wing and gave them clothes.
I want to stop you right there, because there was a reason why I wanted you to talk about this, but one of the fondest memories that I have, and you and I have been through battles and we've had conversations and hung out, but one of my fondest memories, and I've never told you this before, was on that trip. And we met those kids, and they were like brothers. And one of them was 17. The other one was like 14 or something like that. And we met them, and literally we were having lunch at this diner, and everybody knew that the Americans were there, right? And so we would have like a crowd like kind of following us, right? And so this diner, we walked in, we're sitting there, and they kind of like rope off a section where we're at so nobody can like mess with us, right? So there's these kids standing on the outside of the restaurant, and Kevin calls them over. They get his attention. I don't know how, but we start talking, and Kevin is just like genuinely interested in like hearing their story. And the older one, Kev, remember, tells you that he only eats a lollipop, a blow pop, once a day for food. And
crazy.
And this is I'm getting to the point of the story. The fondest memory I have of Kevin is Kevin called the waitress over and was like, whatever they want to eat, put it on the tab. And like those kids just they couldn't believe it that this American was like being so nice and kind, but then they basically had I think they ordered like 2 plates each or something. They just went like it was
a lot
going
of food,
around.
huh?
Yeah. And then they felt so, I guess they felt so just happy that
Grateful.
Kevin, that they showed up at the hotel to shine shoes, and they just wanted us, like they wanted to repay us and Kevin for the kindness that he showed. We ended up taking him to the movie that night. Remember, after we won the tournament, like we took him to the movies, and it was just, they had the best experience. And I remember it all started with Kevin, and that's one of my fondest memories of you, Kev, because it just showed your generosity and your huge heart. And you know, I should give you your flowers for it, and I'm glad I'm doing it now. So, you know, it made a big impression on me.
Kev, Matt hadn't given flowers in I don't know how many episodes, man. You know, that's a big deal, Kev, if he's giving flowers. I haven't heard that in a while, man. But that's awesome. That speaks the genuine, the genuine person that you are, man. That's awesome.
It is.
I think, man, a lot of that, and I appreciate it, Matt, but I think a lot of it also was just how they accepted us in also. Like when you go around people that have nothing and that are happier than the people that we know that feel like they have everything, made me like just really look at, like, I was looking at life totally backwards.
Yeah.
Like, things that we thought were important weren't important. And so, that was just, and I mean, it wasn't just me. We were all involved there.
Yeah.
Man. And, from taking them to the zoo and all that. I think that is really what I remember. And like with you you laughing about the zoo. There's so many stories, man, that we come from that. But that experience about just humanity is really what I brought back more than the experience of us really even winning that basketball tournament.
Yeah. It was a great experience. So many fond memories. Like, man, we could do, like you said, we could do an episode just on that. that trip, right? But so what are you doing now? Like what are you doing now? Why are you in Kansas, Missouri borderline? Like what is Kevin Mitchell doing now?
Absolutely. So for the last 7 years, I took an opportunity to work for a company called Intuitive. Intuitive Surgical. It's a surgical robotic company that essentially, I started in the Valley, and really it's a medical device job in sales per se. But what really intrigued me about this opportunity, about this company is what we do in regards to the technology that we have, which is called the Da Vinci robot. And it's for any type of soft tissue surgery. If you're talking colorectal cancer, prostate cancer, thoracic, lung cancer, hysterectomies, anything in that nature, to even hernias and coles. But it was an opportunity to go and really take, when you're looking at the Rio Grande Valley and where a lot of my life has been spent, and we have kind of the most obese, or historically the most obese population with the most comorbidities. The last thing you want to do for those types of patients is split them wide open for a surgery that doesn't necessarily have to be. And so the mission of this company is really just really being able to provide the advanced technology it does to allow for more minimally invasive surgery, which in the bigger picture is really kind of not only help surgeons as they continue to grow and progress, but also our patients in the community and the hospitals overall as a whole as well, and reducing a lot of the complications that come with open surgery. So in a bigger picture, it's really training the staff, training surgeons from their open and laparoscopic approach to doing Da Vinci and doing robotics. And it's been really rewarding. And so 6 years of that in the Valley, I took an opportunity and a promotion to move to Kansas City and do it at a capital, cover 4 different states now.
Congratulations, man.
That's big time.
Congratulations.
That is big time. Yeah, that is awesome, man. So we got about 8 more minutes left, but what's your fondest memory when you played for the university? Like, whether it be practice, whether it be hanging out at the Rock Village, game, like, was it a road trip? Like, what was that moment for you that you recollect all the time?
I think the first thing that I go back to is the tournament, the San Juan shootout, the Puerto Rico San Juan shootout. Growing up, we always watched, these tournaments on TV, whether it be that or the Hawaii, the Honolulu shootout or any of those tournaments. A lot of exposure and a lot of opportunity. But for us, I think when you talk about where we were at that point in the season, the guys like Joey, myself, Marie, like playing at MCC and being in Waco and being overlooked by Baylor. Marie also was one that they overlooked and didn't decide to sign him because they didn't want to wait for him. And coming in there and people not knowing who they call us UTPA, they're like, who is UTPA?
Yeah.
Not knowing who UTPA is. And then being able to make it to the championship game. Getting to the championship game and then not only getting there, but overcoming a 17-point deficit at halftime. To win that tournament, I think was really rewarding and really just, I think, opened up the possibilities of the season that we had. And it got really a lot of us to really truly buy into what Hoffman was preaching. And, really shout out to Coach Hoffman, who I think is one of the most underrated coaches to ever coach the game, specifically not only on the offensive side and the czar that he is in his offense and the way that he looks at the game, but overall, really also in life, man, and how a lot of that really just carried forward after basketball.
Yeah, Dav was on that staff, right? Coach Dav. Shout out to Coach Dav. Yeah. Spence.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, we had there's a lot of guys that came through. We had Clay Martin, who now Clay's
he's an NFL rep.
NFL.
Yeah, he's already promised to come on the show. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kev, we, it's funny is Hoffman asked me to come be the administrative assistant during your tenure there with Myrie and Joey and all that, but I decided to stick with the JUCO route. But along those same lines, I wanted to ask you, I know that you all had some really cool memories with Matt, playing in all those men's leagues and all that good stuff. And I believe that we played in some of those tournaments as well. Together, and not a lot of them, but I remember when I was healthy and my knee got back to where I could play.
Team Cardenas.
In a cup with Team Cardenas. My question is though, I'm not gonna reminisce those days, because it was a foggy time for me. But you played with Myrie, okay, and you played with me on the same court. How do you compare our games? From your standpoint?
I'd have to say, man, that's a tough one. They're very similar.
I'm gonna let you think on that, okay? And we'll have you back on the show later, and we can actually just.
He's gonna need to think on it. He's gonna have to think on that one.
Man,
I'm gonna have to think very hard, but.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. All right. Let me narrow down the question for you, because that's really broad. You're going to talk about me and all of that stuff, and I don't want that. So G is in the right-hand side in the right corner, and Myrie's in the left. You need a 3 to win the game, okay? Now, knowing that you're a right-hander, I know you're a right-hander, and your right hand is probably stronger than your left, or maybe your left's stronger. I'm not sure. But which way are you driving to kick it out for the wide-open 3 and the win? Who are you going to?
So I'd have to say, not only because my left is I'm a lot stronger on my left, even though I'm right-handed, I'm gonna have to go to my side. Like
thanks for coming on the show, Kev. It was great having you.
Losing you. I think we're losing you.
Look, hello.
The last time I checked, Myrie was not a host on Saddle Up, and I might get fired, after these questions that I'm asking. But yeah, you know what, man? If I were in your shoes, I'd probably do the same thing.
Let's make this a real life. Like, if you're looking at it for what it is, you don't want to. If you're in that zone, your last, shot clock is running down.
Yeah,
game's about to be over. You're going to make the right play. So if I'm more than likely, a lot of times they may be, denying him. So if they are, everybody, you trust all your teammates. So you want to find the right guy, and you'd be on the court for a reason, G.
You drop it down to Matt. Hope he gets an and one, Right.
So no, let's not. That's not part of it.
Make the right play. That's all. That's the politically correct answer right there.
You don't get to ask any more questions, man. That was not a good question.
Dude. Yes, it's a beautiful question. And I wanted to that was our intro to our awesome, man, speed round of questions.
Dang good.
Mr. Mitchell, are you ready for your speed round of questions?
Let's go. Let's eat.
What do we have today for the winner? What does he get?
Well, see, we usually give away, Jason's Deli or Wing Barn, but I'm not sure. Do you have a Jason's Deli up there? I know you don't have a Wing Barn because it's local.
I don't think I've seen a Jason. Yeah, we do have a Jason. I don't know.
Well, when you come down with the fiance and Carter, who's your son, he's adorable.
Some Wing Barn. We'll hook you up with some Wing Barn.
With some Wing Barn, yeah.
In
March, when you come for, when we get to see you, you got Wing Barn.
Yeah, you got Wing Barn, man. All right. Okay. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer, okay? But it's a speed round, so you got to answer quick. Don't think too much about it. Like the question that I asked before, that takes a lot of thinking. Takes a lot of. Yeah, let's not do that. All right, speed round. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Onion rings or fries?
Who?
Onion rings or fries?
Oh, fries.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Jordan or LeBron?
Bron.
Oh, wow. Mustard or ketchup?
Ketchup.
East or west?
East.
Sonic or Whataburger?
Whataburger.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Beach or mountain?
Beach.
Ooh, all right. Peanut butter or jelly?
Peanut butter.
A layup or a 3?
3.
Matt inside or G outside?
I shoot it.
All right, Lon Kruger.
Wow, Lonnie. Wow.
Lon Kruger said the same thing. G asked him, you can go back and look on the episode. G asked him relatively kind of the same question.
Yeah.
And, draw a play on a timeout. Who do you get it to? Do you get it Matt on the block or G on the
or
3?
G for a 3, yeah.
And he was like, well, we'd probably turn it over. So none of y'all get the shot. So.
Yeah. And then we're like, I don't know if you'd even be in the game.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't know if you'd be in the game. So.
Hey, no, all jokes aside on that, man, both are very viable options. Like real talk. Like
thank you, Kev.
And Matt as well. So,
you made my day, man. You made my day.
Well, Kev, you're welcome back anytime you want to come back, man. I hope this is not the last time you bless us with your presence on the podcast. And it was so great having you, man. You're a great friend, and you're definitely, arguably, one of the best point guards that ever played at UPA. So,
yeah, and thank you for being a great person, man, and for blessing everybody that comes your way. We appreciate
man, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate what y'all are doing with this podcast, man. Y'all guys keep it up, man. Y'all are doing some amazing work.
Well, thanks. Awesome. Keep spreading the word. You. All right, till next week, guys. V's up.
V's up.
There goes the fucking balloons again, man. What the?
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean, like something happened.